Howdy, guys. So yeah, I'm being weird. It's funny. I actually wanted to give a quick breakdown of the crazy ass medication that they have put me on, and it's gonna be like a year and a half now of the crazy things. I'm so sorry about the screen and my glasses, but I actually like wearing my glasses sometimes. So yeah. But first, let me show you my puppy. Baby, come here. Oh, she just wants to say hello. 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 How do you feel? You don't know? Hi. Yeah, she looks a hot mess because she's got severe allergies. So when we actually got her, my aunt was like, "Oh, she's got severe allergies like you. You have something in common." And I'm like, "Yeah, even though she's white as hell. I'm sorry, baby." Oh, hi, baby. Oh, yeah. You just want to eat the food, but you can't. All right, I'm gonna let you go play now. Ugh! No, you can't have my food. Don't backtalk me. This ain't your house. Crazy fool. Anyways, sorry, getting distracted. Okay, so, crazy, I can't do it. Crazy rundown of all of the ridiculous medication I had been on the last year and a half. So, when I first got medicated, and that's a long story for another day, they started me off on 5 different medications, okay? Effexor, trazodone, risperidol, Vistaril, and Depakote. I do that because I'm the awkward finger thing. Regardless, so I was like, alright, it's not gonna be too bad, even though I spent like 3 months in basically a coma. Like, I literally slept like 18 hours a day, and that was just at night. I would literally like sleep. I would like sleep at like 6 o'clock at night. My mom would like fight to wake me up at 5:30 in the morning. I would still sleep until like 6 in the morning, barely eat anything, or just like devour all of the foods, and then go to school, fall asleep during first block, get woken up, fall asleep during second block, get woken up, and then usually sleep away my third and fourth block if I had the chance to. So it really didn't work out well. So of these 5 crazy medications, basically this is what happened. Okay, so he's like the crazy psychiatrist who I'm convinced was trying to kill me. Basically he said, "I think you have schizoaffective disorder." So as a result, to try to get the voices to go away, he tried to medicate me to death. I'm not even kidding. Like, I feel like the only way that the voices would have completely gone away that time is if I was just basically in a coma or dead. Like, that was his goal, was death. Like, I was like, dude, this isn't getting good. So yeah, no. With the risperidol, super heavy sleepiness, especially in combination with the Depakote, which was again super heavy sleepiness and super like I was gonna eat all of the things. The Vistaril was supposed to be for anxiety, and so basically I was having a lot of anxiety attacks at the time and like personality switches and crazy things. I've got like a really like mild case of dissociative disorder. I wonder why. So yeah, no, the Vistar was supposed to help me calm down, right? But it was kind of like one of those like Arnold Schwarzenegger pills where like you take it and it's like anxiety, bam, and like next thing I know, I would have been like, and I'd be out for like 3 days. Like it would just like in 30 minutes max. Like usually within 5 minutes, like my ass would be done. Like if I took that pill, I would be out like a light. Ain't nothing was gonna bother me at that point. So I was just like, all right, this is a super pill, right? And he gave me all of these pills, and it didn't really explain to me the crazy side effects that might have happened. So I took the Effexor, right? That was the supposed to be the get up and go to actually wake me up in the fucking morning. Didn't. Crazy side effects I noticed from that pill is the tremors. And I still actually have Effexor tremor now, and I don't even take Effexor anymore, but because I kind of like stopped cold turkey ish. But it's the kind that I will like yawn and my body would literally like it looks like I'm having seizures. Like I would almost have convulsions, and it would either be just like I would stretch and my body, you stretch and your muscles like shake. It's like a literal I would stretch and then it would just shake so much I would curl up into myself, and it was like almost like miniature seizures because my body would get so tight that they had to pry me open because my body would just curl in so much because it was just such a strong tremor. And then I would get stuck that way because I just didn't want to let my arms go because it just hurt too much. So I was just like, I just want to not feel sad anymore. And basically, if I wasn't sleeping, I was a convulsive mess. So it wasn't wonderful. So then I had this really serious paranoia that my doctor was trying to kill me. So my therapist was like, "Oh no, we're gonna find a new doctor." We found this new doctor, right? And he was like, "You're on a lot of meds. It's not too good. Let me get you a psych eval." I go get a psych eval. That ink blot stuff, it was fucking hilarious because I saw 3 crotches. It's like the funniest thing is with my ink blots. You can tell the guy. He's like, because I'm like, what do I say? Like he wants to know my honest opinion, and I'm like, it looks like a crotch. It looks like a vagina. What else do you want me to say? And of course, I feel like horrible. And it was just an awkward situation. So I was like, okay. So he's like, all right, we're going to just take you off of the Depakote pretty fast. And I was on 1,000 milligrams of Depakote. So he decided to cut it in half. And in like 3 days, I had like a severe suicide attempt and lost my mind. So I'm in the hospital a second time in a completely different city this time in Virginia, which is absolutely horrible. And I'm just like, I can never win. So the guy says, oh, okay, let's figure out what's going on, right? So he's like, what's the deal? And I was like, look, my trazodone doesn't help me sleep. Like, after prolonged periods of taking it, I didn't. The first time, I will make another video on the first time I took trazodone. It is almost as great as the Ambien adventure. It was crazy. But, so, I'm taking, he still said he kept the Effexor and he kept the Visceral, but he gave me clonidine, which is actually a blood pressure medication, and he gave me Geodon. And he said, I think you're bipolar. Let me give you this. And so I was like, okay. So, Geodon, not so much effect. It messed with my appetite for a bit. But the clonidine, actually, with the really scary side effect, was it lowered my blood pressure so much that I actually would literally be passing out within moments of waking up. And when I would sleep, my blood pressure would just drop so low that I would be borderline fainting, more or less, the entire time. Like, I ended up having to get off clonidine because I actually woke up one morning, went into the bathroom, used the bathroom, and the next thing I knew, I was in the tub, and I was confused. And I had actually passed out into the tub. And my parents thought I was like, I had almost died, so they had a damn heart attack and called the freaking ambulance and shit and pumped me. I was like freaking 3 bags of damn saline solution because I was so damn dehydrated. And they were like, don't ever take that again. And they're like, why? They're like, you have relatively low blood pressure to begin with. This is just making it too low. Like, at one point, it was like 99/66 and dropping. And so they were like, this is bad. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I stopped that, even though I wasn't sleeping after that. So I was like, okay, great. I'm going to stop this, but now I can't sleep. Wonderful. So then, yeah. So we went through this entire selection, right? So then I go back, after being in the hospital again. Dr. D is like, that's not too good. And I was like, yeah, really? And so then he adjusts my damn medication again. So now, at this point, I am on Effexor, Visceral if absolutely necessary, Geodon, and Celexa. And again, when I first took Celexa, that, again, was crazy shit, and I'm going to have to do a separate video on the Celexa thing. Nah, probably not. Basically, when I first took Celexa, I actually thought I was, like, eating coffee grounds, because everything in my throat and my bowels felt like coffee grounds. And one of the crazy side effects, at the time when I read it, was that it could create stools that looked like coffee grounds, and I was so damn confused how the fuck that happens. And I was like, oh my god. At this point, my family and I got to the point where we were so morbid. We were just like, every time I get prescribed a new medication, I'm going to read out the damn side effects, as if this is what may end up happening. Why don't we get acquainted with it now? So, yeah. I stayed on that concoction for a while. Again, wasn't sleeping. And then I go to college and nearly lost my mind. End up in the hospital with them crazy Ambien adventures. And then that doctor, says, I think you have psychosis NOS specified. And I'm like, I'm about to beat your ass. Do I look psychotic? I'm not. So again, I stick with Effexor, but then he gives me the regular Seroquel, the one you can get generic. Now this thing is pretty intense and actually does require, for the two Seroquels that I've taken now, do require a separate video, because they're actually, you have to be really careful with these medications. But needless to say, I went through that really strange periods of me being knocked the fuck out for 3 days, and then being awake for like 8 days straight. So it didn't actually work too well, and now I'm here, and they're like, oh, well, the regular Seroquel might not work. How about we give you the Seroquel XR, which is the extended release? It might help the bipolar thing, going back to like doctor number 2. And I was just like, I just want to sleep. Like, why can't I just sleep? And they're like, because you cycle like crazy. And I'm like, if I was sleeping, I wouldn't be cycling. I wouldn't feel like this. So, yeah, that is like my adventures in a nutshell. So I am really I'm really careful with medication. So if anybody has any tips on things that are holistic, message me, because this is ridiculous. So yeah, I'm gonna film the other 2 now, just because they're pretty funny. Not really, but yeah. So I'll see you in a bit.